Today we're talking all about 3 conversation starters in order to help you have more successful sales conversations, because it's really about the opening, right? Because let's face it, in order to be able to close more sales, you actually need to be able to open the conversation. So that's what we're talking about today. So number 1 is really simple. It's tell me about your business. Tell me about your finances. Tell me about your relationships. Tell me about your garden. So the formula here is going to be tell me about blank. The blank is whatever you help your clients with. Okay, it's your area of expertise. It is your niche. Now, the reason why this works so well is because people love talking about themselves. They love to be able to share what it is that's going on in their life. And especially if you work with business owners, tell me about your business. This one question could take you a long time to get through all the information. Most importantly, the information that they choose to share are the things that are the most important. So take note of them. Some of these things are extremely relevant and will help you identify what are the key things that they prioritize, that they would spend time and effort and money in order to be able to preserve and to be able to save. Number 2 is, what would success look like as a result of our time or a conversation today? Now, the reason why this one works so well is because essentially what you're asking people to do is tell you what they're hoping to get out of the conversation, right? When you ask, what would success look like? You're essentially asking them, what is most important for you? What do you hope to achieve? What are you wanting to get out of the time that we're spending together? And it will allow you to stand out as somebody who is not only trying to add value, but ultimately trying to serve your customers as best as you possibly can. Because when you are in it to help them win it, they are much more likely to be engaged with you through the conversation. So what would success look like from our time together, from our conversation today, from being able to be on this call with me, from the end of our presentation? So again, insert whatever is the appropriate verbiage for you and your clients. But essentially what you're trying to get your head wrapped around is, why are they here? What is success? You're trying to future pace them a little bit so that they are able to tell you exactly what they're hoping that you will deliver through the course of the conversation. Now, number 3, what brought you in today? Now, this one, albeit, works a little bit better if you work in a more traditional brick and mortar store, right? What brought you in today? This works really well. And I'm going to give you an option if you don't have a traditional brick and mortar store that is along the same lines. But the reason why this one works so well is because who hasn't been approached by a retail salesperson and, can I help you? Have you heard that before? And what's our natural reaction? No, I'm just looking. No, because we're afraid that that person is going to try and sell us. And yet if we reframe this and use the question that I gave you, which is, what brought you in today? All of a sudden, it becomes a conversation starter. It becomes an inquiry into what prompted them to come in, what drove them to visit, what maybe urged them to come and take a look at some of the things that you have. And the answer still might be the same as you would have gotten if you had asked, can I help you today? But from my experience, I know that this one question can change things. It can reduce the amount of friction that you're going to experience, and it can lower their guard so that it becomes more of a conversation as opposed to you're trying to sell me something. Now, for the online space, if you're not having a traditional brick and mortar location, a store or services, a storefront, right? The version that you're going to use for this one is, what prompted you to book the call? What prompted you to have this conversation today? So the reason why we do this is exactly the same thing. What was it that got them out of their seat, out of inertia, to be able to say, I need to speak to somebody about this? What was going on in their life, or what's going on in their life right now? So whatever the case may be, the thing that you want to identify is, what made them take the leap? What made them start the chain of events that have created an opportunity for you and I to have this conversation right here and right now. Now, when you do that, it'll allow you to understand what happened. Like, You know when you enter a conversation or you're watching a movie and it feels like you've missed the punchline because something just happened right before? This is essentially where you're starting off sales conversations. You don't know the story that's been going on in your potential customer's head. So you have no idea what context they're trying to make this decision from, right? And so if you're able to now kind of walk back in time, so question number 2 was really about moving you and future pacing your ideal clients with you. This one is about you being able to kind of jump back in the past to be able to understand what was it that caused them or created an opportunity for them to look at you as a potential solution for a problem that they may have. So I hope that one of these 3 conversation starters are going to be super helpful for you in order to see more success on your very next sales conversation. For more tips, hints, strategies just like this, I want you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm not sure where that's going to be, but go ahead and hit subscribe, like, and share this video with somebody that you feel might be benefiting from it. And we will see you again on our very next video. Thank